it's interesting that there's actually a business just behind where I live, and it used to be a play centre, big play centre for people, you know, dropping off their kids and what have you, go to work. Or it wasn't a crate, it was actually, I don't think it was a crate, but anyway, it had that old sign up there for ages, but there was seemed to be a new business moved in. And they finally, this is probably about 4 months since they actually moved in, they finally got round to changing the big sign. I'm thinking they got the wrong way around. You think you want to advertise your businesses there beforehand, because I know they've been open for a while, but they've waited till now to get the actual sign changed. So it's a bit strange. Yeah, just had to wait at the lights back there, and there's a school kid next to me. One of those kids who thinks that if they continually keep pushing the pedestrian light button, that it will somehow miraculously make the light turn green, but it has absolutely no effect, just annoys everybody else. And here's the new arts centre just being completed last few months. So took a while to build, but we've got it done now. So just taking a slightly different route to the pub, not the shortcut. Get bored with that. So this is like the arts precinct, I guess. You know, it's not a big place, Cairns, but it does have its little arts area. Got an aquarium now as well, so things are looking up a bit. But we have lost the cinema. The event cinema closed down. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back, I guess. But yeah, superb winter's day. Yeah, it's certainly a nice part of town here. It's good to see this is finally finished rather than a work in progress. This place sort of amuses me. Fairly pretentious Villa Vaucluse. But looks quite nice with the hills in the background there. Yeah, it's a pretty place. It's quiet walking down here. Quite a bit of foot traffic. I had a Guinness at PJ's and got pretty well ignored by the barmaid yet again. And of course, you talk to all the other people there. It's not an age thing either. They were middle-aged guys you had a nice chat with. He seems to have a dislike of me, and I've never done anything. It's weird. I just, maybe I'm being paranoid, but it really pisses me off. You know what have I done? I just feel as though I'm being ostracised, and I have no idea why. Very strange. Well, they had a fire alarm go off. That was pretty ordinary. That fire alarm drill, that is. So we didn't actually have a fire, but those things are very annoying. So anyway, I'll just go to Sofa and get myself some cheap meat pies. I had to endure my 3rd night of a rock concert taking place yesterday evening until about 9:30 at night. Luckily it didn't go any later than that, but it was very loud and even interfering with watching DVDs on the computer. You know, that's how loud it was. So it's pretty pervasive and not good. I haven't heard any noise from the showgrounds today, so maybe that's good. So that was pretty bad 3 nights in a row. I've never had that sort of continual noise for so long in the past. So maybe the show's finishing, I don't know. But on top of that, when I went to bed, just a little after 10 o'clock, lost power. Had a power outage, another power outage from Ergon. I've never experienced so many power outages as in Cairns. And it could be a portent in the future, because Alan Jone was talking about energy on Friday, and I'm actually going to include some of that audio because I think it's very important to hear it. We are reaching a crisis point with electricity in this country, to the extent that now businesses are being asked to switch off for periods of time to make sure they don't overload the system. It's just absurd. It's just third world stuff. It's a crisis. I don't think it's overstating the word, because of the mismanagement of the grid. and that's being run by a green energy zealot from the United States named Ziebelman, and she's the head of the energy agency that's balancing all these demand and supply problems. But with so much renewables in the system, it's impossible to do it. So it's a real problem. So another blackout, as I say. Is this the future? Is this the future for Australia? It's pretty sad.
This has to be a joke. This is the other. There are a few crises now, and I'll talk to the Prime Minister about one or two of them. We can't cover everything. But I spoke years ago about the energy crisis. This is a crisis. I think someone is joking. This Australian energy market operator, run by an American, I might add, who we bring in here, an American woman, and she's a great big renewable energy advocate. It's just unbelievable. And now they're talking, under her leadership, about introducing a so-called demand response rule by 2022. Don't you love the jargon? Under the rule, we're just down. We're not far from oblivion here. We're not far from oblivion. Big manufacturers would be paid to shut down their operations in times of power shortages to prevent blackouts. What's that mean? Well, Ross is a big manufacturer. I'm going to take it from Ross so that I can turn the lights on. That's what it means. Simple as that. None of this would be necessary if we built reliable, clean, coal-fired power stations, if we scrapped subsidies to renewable energy which distort the market. But who does this AEMO, Australian Energy Market Operator, think it's fooling with talk of a new rule? Unfortunately, this already happens. Because according to another bureaucratic outfit, we've got any number of them, but we can't guarantee cheap and available electricity. According to the Australian Energy Market Commission, manufacturers are already being asked to shut down or scale back their power use on a daily basis, just so the embarrassment of not having enough energy is not relayed to the electorate. In Australia, in April, the Commission's annual review said this, I'm quoting, "The energy market operator is intervening on a daily basis to keep the lights on." I told you this is where we're heading. You want to demonise coal-fired power, and no politician's got the guts to say, we are going to build one. In January, consumers in Victoria and South Australia forked out $34 million via their power bills. That's 100 times the normal cost of electricity to buy back electricity from manufacturers in order to keep the lights on in Victoria and South Australia for 2 days, hot days. And what's more, if manufacturers hadn't, I love this word they use, quote unquote, voluntarily agreed to shed power, now they're saying, oh, we'll pay manufacturers to not open up. But if they hadn't then voluntarily shed power, and if this mob, the Australian Energy Market Operator, had forcibly cut their power, the cost to consumers would have been $52 million, not $34 million. You believe this is going on? In one of those energy-rich countries in the world? Can you believe this? I mean, this is just useless government policy. Can someone start building a new, clean, coal-fired power station yesterday and make sure the existing ones stay open?
Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.